Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the small island of Bahrain, just off the mainland Arabia, whatever you want to call it, Middle East, at the Bahrain International Circuit, where we have qualifying for the Grand Prix later on today. Of course, it's spring weekend, so we qualify on the Sunday morning or this afternoon, as they have in Bahrain, because it's a night race. But yeah, we have the qualifying, and the grid is set. It's looking like gonna be a tasty one. Let's go through it then. Science. I know I said this before. Another disappointing qualifying session from the Spaniard. It's a shame because we know he's quick enough. He's proved it time and time again. Well, he wasn't even that good at Ferrari, in all fairness, in the recent years. But yeah. And we've got the wildcard driver for this weekend at Paul Aaron in 20th place. Pierre Gasly down in 19th place. Mr. Consistent normally, all the way down at the back. Drugovic in 18th. He's back after missing the race 2 weeks ago to apparently race at IMSA. He wasn't actually racing, that was my bad, but apologies, whoopsie daisy there. Portier in 17th, Albon 16th, Doohan in 15th. Since that win at Snetterton, he has been nowhere. Not nowhere in Germany. Actually, no, I think he was nowhere in Germany. Nowhere in the sprint yesterday, and he's all the way down in 15th place, so it's poor from him. Then we've got Maloney in 14th place. Pole on Friday night for the sprint race, dropped all the way down to the rear of the pack, unfortunately for him. Then we've got another championship contender of Yuki Tsunoda in 13th place, so it's surprised to see him that far back. Ocon 12th, Lawson 11th, championship leader before the sprint race yesterday. Oliver Behrman in 10th, now he's only a few points off Lando Norris. I think he's only 1 or 2. Hamilton 9th, Stroll 8th, Verstappen 7th, Victor Martins in 6th place. He wasn't meant to race this weekend. He didn't race in the sprint race. He did race last weekend to replace Frederick Vesti. But if you didn't know, I mentioned it in the sprint race yesterday. I forgot to mention it in sprint qualifying. Don't know how. But Kimi Antonelli had a huge accident in FP1 for this practice for the sprint race. It wasn't shown on camera. It wasn't on a broadcast. We didn't broadcast practice, but it was caught on security cameras from the circuit. So there was pictures of that crash posted on the YouTube community feed if you want to check it out. It was a big rollover crash through turn 5 of the sprint course. Actually, it's turn 5 of this circuit as well. Yeah, that's why Martins is racing again. Not replacing Antonelli though. Not replacing Antonelli. He's replacing Frederick Vesti. Vesti is in the Mercedes replacing Antonelli. He qualified in 5th place. So the man who was in the Mercedes car last season, very good qualifying after missing the race last week to go and win the Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta 2 weeks ago. Sorry. And then we got 4th place George Russell winning the sprint yesterday. Another championship contender there. Lando Norris championship leader in 3rd. Piastri is the highest of the championship contenders in 2nd place, and then pole, just like he was 2 weeks ago, it's Charles Leclerc. Can he put a late push? I mean, it's unlikely he'll be able to regain his championship that he lost last year on the final race of the season to Lando Norris, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, let's get an onboard lap then from Charles Leclerc of his pole lap. Where is it? Let's go back a bit. Still not got it. Is it this lap? Is this lap here? Get back quite a long way. Very long circuit here in Bahrain. Of course, the endurance layout is the one we're using for the sprint race, not the normal Grand Prix circuit, because the normal Grand Prix circuit we can't use because it's an F1 track. But anyway, yeah, going towards turn 1, it's basically the first 8 corners are the exact same we saw in the sprint race yesterday. So it's the usual turn 1 tight right-hander we've seen in F1 for every year since until 2022, from 2004. Then we've got turn 2 flat out, turn 3 flat out, little Russell crash and sprint qualifying. Then we've got another DRS zone before turn 4, brake around just before the 100-meter mark, hit the apex there, and then you got flat out through turn 5 where Antonelli crashed in FP1 on Friday. And then we have turn 6 flat out, turn 7, turn 8, and then this time turn 9 is an even tighter right-hander. Before turn 10, the little left-hander. Before turn 11, you've got brake for it. It's a very tricky section, this part. Turn 10, slow down a little bit. Then, no, turn 12, sorry, slow down a little bit. 13, and then 14, long left-hander. Before turn 15, a lot slower than normal. But of course, we've not got the straight before it. And then turn 16, then back to what we're used to. 17, hit the apex. Don't want to put on the throttle too early. Before we've got the very tricky, normally not short corners it is, but it's turn 18 and 19 here. Brake through halfway through turn 18, get into turn 19. There's Vesti crashing there apparently. Did not notice that. Ignore that. And then we got turn 20 after the final of the DRS zone of the track. Turn 20, long left-hander before 21, flat out right-hander going into turn 22. Again, hit both the outside and the inside apex back onto the curbs there. And then we got the long straight that isn't the DRS zone. Actually, I think it's kind of might have a slight bend in it. For turn 23, hit the apex there, and then turn 24. Just let the car take it, open the DRS one last time, and that is a pole lap from Charles Leclerc. It's 1:54.531, and we'll be back later today. It's 5 p.m. lights out UK time, 8 p.m. local time, so I'll see you for that one. Goodbye.